Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 109 of my Guild Wars 2 Let's Play series, where we are currently in Living World Season 1, and today we are going to play through Scarlet's Playhouse, which is the primary mission in episode 3, Clockwork Chaos. And because it is the primary mission, that means there is quite a bit of stuff to do in this mission as far as achievements goes, and I'm going to go ahead and try my best to complete everything, which is a trend that I'm doing in Living World Season 1, but will not necessarily be doing moving forward. But there's just like a big reward in Season 1 I want to take a look at. So let's go ahead and get started with Scarlet's Playhouse with this really cool loading screen art where it looks like Scarlet Briar is like a puppeteer. And as we load in, we can see Rox and Bram and Frostbite just running around.
Okay, now that we're in, our first order of business is to find and free the hostages. Captain Thackeray is counting on us. Impress him, and Ritlock takes notice. Ready, Bram? Ready, Frostbite?
You know I'm ready. I can't speak for Frostbite. Then again, neither can he, because he can't talk.
He talks, you just have to know how to listen. Right, boy? See? Frostbite's ready. Let's show Scarlet what happens when you mess with our human pals.
Look who's here, but you didn't pay the entry fee. Bouncers, do your stuff.
So we're now moving around the Crown Pavilion, which when we come here in the festival we can explore a little bit more in depth. But let's go ahead and go this way, where this spot looks a little different than I remember. Maybe it was even different way back in the day. But there are a bunch of achievements, and I think we can complete the first part and then come back through, where there are actually a couple of skill-based achievements, including one to not die at all in this mission. And we can see some Aether Blades up here. Let's jump here, where we need to get to the hostages up there.
But I didn't make enough dinner for guests. Quick, someone toss another hostage into the pot.
Let's go ahead and try to kill the Twisted Nightmare. Throw a hostage into the pot. You and Swashbuckler, and then a couple of Twisted Horrors right here. And then let's quickly maneuver around here. There's like a bunch of Aether Blades we could try to deal with. It might be worthwhile to not...
Here's up, Bram. There's something ahead.
I see it. And it's not just something, it's the thing.
The hostages?
And a bunch of those ugly mechanical baddies. One king-size pile of scrap metal coming right up.
Hello? Anyone? Fire! There's a fire! Noble Lord's lifelong gratitude is just a rescue away!
Do come in. There's no room at the dinner table, but plenty of room in the cold.
not attack too many things. Where we need to save Lord Farron within 3 minutes. So let's go ahead, deal with these twisted guys, and we can see a bunch of emissaries all around. And let's use the fire extinguisher onto, it looks like the fire is here, and Scarlet Briar is going to be lighting them up. So we need to be a little quick here. And then we need to kill these, and I think just going to relight them. And then we need to extinguish them again and then kill more, probably a couple of times, is my guess. Let's get over here quickly. Swiftness is definitely going to be helpful.
I sincerely hope you're an off-duty firefighter, because I sincerely don't want to be cooked.
Okay, so this is like the third wave now. It's good that they're all grouping up for me, so I can just AoE them down quickly. And then let's grab this. I'm assuming this is what we need to do, and it is.
I was done with them anyway. Stupid hostages.
Am I glad to see you? Help a nobleman out of a bad situation, will you? That Sylvari with the fright wig is all kinds of crazy.
Are you hurt?
Not seriously. Not yet. Scarlet likes to play with her toys, and let me tell you, she plays rough. The others are in pretty bad shape. I've been held captive before, but this is easily the scariest hospitality I've received.
Okay, we'll stay with you until we can get you all to safety. Anyone who can't walk, we'll carry.
And any of Scarlet's machine goons who come looking for poor, defenseless you will find us instead.
So now we need to find a way to open the gate, and we also got to pursue Scarlet. But now I think there's a couple of things we can collect. So there might be a Scarlet chest way over there. So let's safely get over to that, because we do not want to die in the process. And there's also one right there. But I remember this one being like a little tricky to get to. Let's go for the chest over here first, because I think this will be a little bit easier. Let's see if we can pull the grenadier. We can. We can pull him across the lava. Just basically one-shot that one. Carefully over to here. Let's kill this veteran. And then I guess we should just kill this one as well. Dodge jumping is definitely useful in certain situations like that to easily get over to certain places, though not necessary. And then we have a ramp that will take us up to here. And then let's just kill these to be safe. And there we go. And then Scarlet's chest here. And just like I said last episode, if you hear stuff in the background, my dog is very active right now. But that's our first of 5 chests. And then we need to avoid combat while navigating the Centaur maze. So let's get back over towards the next place we go, because I think the Centaur maze is the next section that we can see right over there. And it is indeed a maze, and a very, very dangerous one, especially during the festival. But if we can get to here, and then we just need to avoid being in combat. Actually, I might have already failed this, because I went back and killed the Aether Blades, because I think I actually failed this. So I guess we don't really have to be too careful about this, and I'll come back through some other time where we need to pull this lever, and then it looks like there's 2 other levers. And then there's also a letter, not a lever as well, in the Centaur maze that we need to grab. Okay, I actually had to reset the mission, so I now have the eligibility to navigate without engaging in combat. And this is probably going to be a little rough. I see the thug and a reaver. Okay, they're patrolling that way. There's another group that way. I need to not use my swiftness ability, because it's very likely that I'll engage in combat if I do that. Let's just hide up here really quickly. So maybe if you follow this reaver and thug, they're going to go right. These ones are going to go left. It'd be nice if I was like a thief right now. Let's continue this way. And I think we need to follow this group, because they're going to loop back around. So we can just like do a couple laps around this area. I don't see anybody coming up in front of us there. This group is indeed like looping around. So let's pull this lever. And then I think we can maybe just follow this group. It would probably be easier. And I need to get eyes on where, I heard a noise, where the next group's going to be. So there's a group there. Where are they going to go? So they're going, oh, quickly. Just get across here. Pull this. And then let's carefully just wait here a second. Okay, this group is going to loop back this way, and then they're going to turn around. So let's get through here, into here. I see Scarlet Briar. And that's the achievement we needed.
Death by cannonball would be funny, but killing you myself is actual fun.
So now we have to fight Scarlet Briar, but it looks like just a hologram. And we need to figure out a way to remove the shield. And if I were to guess, there's probably going to be some sort of electric attack, just like that. try to deal as much damage as we can, but we're really not dealing too much damage. Keep her in the electricity, where it looks like her shield did not recharge. There we go. It's 10 more seconds. Okay. Let's bring her this way. And that restarted it to 15 seconds. So if you can just keep her in the shield, and then we can go ahead and just start dealing as much damage as possible. Oops. There we go. I missed on my one attack, so we have to wait. But there's her shield down again. Kill Scarlet like this. And there we go. Where we have two incredible minstrels here. And it looks like she just took them elsewhere. So we need to pursue Scarlet and find a way to open the gate. But let's go ahead and actually I think we might have to finish the mission before we can really go for some of the bonus stuff. So let's take a look at this. Where we got the Watch Night Greaves, which looks pretty cool. It might be nice on our certain engineer that I've been decking out a little bit. So now we need to find a way to open the next gate. Where there's no achievements in here, but we do just have to be very careful. Where we can, wow, that's kind of an insane jump there. But, oh, I see the lever is back here. I thought it was up here for some reason. I have no idea why. Let's get ourselves some swiftness. Pull that, and I see another chest right there actually. Oh, I almost made that jump. I think I lost swiftness too, which made it a little bit harder. But can we do this like nutty jump again? There we go. And then we have a group over here and a lever, and then I don't think we can actually get up there from this way. I think we have to wait until the end potentially. And then the other lever is all the way up there. It's probably good that we try to finish the mission too, so we can get the achievements to not die at all. We're just like risking our life more and more to try to get some other bonus stuff before we finish. Let's pull this, and then that opens this gate down here, where it does look like we can actually go back now, but let's just continue forward. Scarlet with a big club.
Giant club versus overripe fruit. I'll be the club.
Where we can fight her again, and it looks like she reflects projectiles, but fortunately for us, we don't have too many projectiles. Just got to sit out of the red circle because I think that's probably going to deal a ton of damage, and then we just need to avoid every other circle as well. I noticed Rox and Brown are kind of far away, but I guess they're helping the hostages. And then I should have waited like 1% more to deal some extra damage to Scarlet there. Throw down our well. Into our rotation, I guess you could say. I kind of just smash buttons in Shroud form. And outside of Shroud form, I just smash buttons as well, but it's working out for us. We could maybe try to come up with like a nice optimal rotation, but this seems good.
The club's just not doing it for me. Time to find something else to beat you with.
Then continuing this way, there's 3 people up there looks like we can chat with as we come back around to the bandit area, which is where we started. Alright, let's jump up here, and we got all of the hostages rescued. Where we can check in with our allies. Let's go ahead and do that.
I'm rich, you know.
And where Bram offered his shirt, but he still needs to cool down from the heat of the cauldron. And where we definitely need to use some Norn aggression against Scarlet. And then Rox says that we need to go ahead and make sure the survivors stay safe. Let's get across here and into the center where this all began last episode. At the center of the pavilion with Scarlet Briar sitting in Queen Jenna's chair down here.
Well, the rats scurried out of the sewer. Nice to finally put a face to the tail. It's a shame the Queen forced my hand, but I must say you're quite the dance partner. Commander, this is something I didn't anticipate. And while I love a bit of excitement, I urge you to desist.
Scarlet Briar herself. Let's evade that. Get in here and get a nice hit. Let's go ahead and summon our golem. And then, so far it seems like if you kind of just run circles around here, this is going to be a generally good strategy, as it is in like a lot of fights. Got her stunned so we can get some bonus damage in, and she does have quite a bit of health. And it looks like we just phased her. What was that, 75%, 80%?
But the night is coming to an end.
Some big explosion here.
That might sting.
And now she's inside of the arena and we're outside. Got the minstrels with us. And then she just teleported out, or jumped out rather.
Just for you.
Now there's like a bunch of tinier bombs, and Scarlet is at 80%, so let's try to chase her down. And she's probably going to teleport or jump or whatever around some more, so we need to be careful as we navigate around this place. And then eventually we might go back into the center. It's definitely been a long time since I've played through this mission. Gotta be careful of the explosions that appear near her as well. Kind of like an extra level of defense for her because we ought to run off. They also leave like a fire field in place. And the fire field seems to last like a decently long time, but like not too long. But it's still something we gotta be careful of. And she just teleported over here, which is not too bad actually. It could have been on like the other side. But we do have this bad situation where she's now inside of the fire field from that explosion, so we can't really get to her unless we want to take extra damage. Fortunately for us, we do have a ranged weapon because I accounted for this when I was making my build. And now we can swap back to our melee greatsword. Let's see where she goes. Into the center.
I would like to thank Queen Jane for her generous contribution.
Now we got 3 Watch Knights we got to deal with, and these are really cool enemies. There's also some twisted Watch Knights around here. Let's just sit in our shroud for a second because there's a lot of enemies here. And then let's use this attack, this attack, this attack, come back out. They're very interesting because they're like walking away and then like charging back in, so they're just like constantly moving about. There goes 2 of them. Now we can just focus this one. Also the Twisted Reaver here. There we go. Now we're trapped inside of the arena, so we kind of have like less space now in some ways because she's going to continuously block off some space, and it looks like this might be pre-coordinated like space block off or whatever instead of like random like on the outside. Maybe outside was like planned as well, but it looks like it's going to be constantly moving about, which if we stay to the center we don't have to worry about it too much, but she does constantly knock us back, so we want to position ourselves so when we're being knocked back here we don't get knocked back into the fire, assuming we like make a mistake and don't evade or jump over the knockback ability she has. See, 25%. Doesn't look like a new phase. She has a ton of engineering abilities, which of course we learned that Scarlet Briar did attend all 3 of the Asuran colleges, which is kind of crazy. Careful, there we go. And then almost defeated here. We might have actually...
The music swells.
And we have a big explosion here.
Commander!
And Bram to save the day.
Alas, you've defeated me. And thus I have learned the error of my ways. I shall be good and sweet and nice from now on.
And looks like it was a watch night all along.
Sharp reminders about how insignificant they are. Do not get in my way, little pest. There will be consequences.
Figures a schemer like Scarlet would have an escape plan. Still, we put her to flight, and that's a win in my book.
Wait, that lunatic is still on the loose? That's not good. Not for Divinity's Reach, or the Queen, or anyone, really. Speaking of royalty, did the Queen notice how brave I was right before I got captured? I'm looking for an upside here.
You're alive and intact, my lord. That's more of an upside than most of her victims got. Savor the little things.
Still, she doesn't strike me as the kind to forgive and forget. More like the kind to begrudge and bedevil.
True, but that just means we stay prepared for anything.
How do you prepare for wild-eyed, tooth-gnashing lunacy? By definition, it's unpredictable.
Defender of the Crown and Playhouse Perfectionist, where we have completed Scarlet's Playhouse. But let's go ahead and run around, because there is still a bunch of stuff for us to get. Where I remembered, it's in the Destroyer area, which is it the side? It is the side. Let's go ahead and get this chest, and then I can go ahead and just use the wiki page for this mission as well to make sure I get everything else. So here is Scarlet's chest. Got that. And then the next one, we need like 3 more chests and then all of the letters, where there's 4 letters in here. Right here we got Scarlet's Book of Poetry, Volume 2. Can you hear them? The sound of crying. Can you hear them? Oh wait, it's just you dying. So phenomenal poetry, Scarlet. Then back at this lever that we were at, we just missed it. Roses are red, the pack commander is blue. Please don't intervene, my dear, or I'll have to kill you. Then right here by this lever, I felt a whisper on my neck. Her voice was bleeding through. I felt his talon at my back. Please be quiet, or he'll hear you. Where this is very interesting, where she's talking about a whisper and potentially like somebody watching over her. I stumbled upon one of her chests right here, so we might as well grab that. And we also got, oh wait, we read the letter first, which happens to actually be right here. So Cora said that joining the Aetherblades would boost our esteem, finally get to travel, have a couple of scuffles, just a couple of city rats, seeing the world, going on adventures, you know. Well, all I've done is scatter off Scar's poems around this pit. The lady got a good purpose, wants to make waves, takes care of business, but all we've done is play pranks and camp out in caves. Sure, we've gotten in a couple of bouts, but nothing seems to go our way. Morale is low. I mean, come on. Roses are red, the pack commander is blue. My little brother could have ridden that in his sleep. What are you trying to do, Scar? Scare him out of their boots? Let's go ahead, open this. And then I think that was the last letter we needed for this, where all 3 are in the next mission that we can do, but we still got a couple more chests. Chest 4 and chest 5, actually very convenient. Let's make sure we don't accidentally exit through the door there. I'm assuming that's an actual exit, because it is during like the open world part of this place, and I feel like it might be in the instance as well. This chest is right here, but maybe a little tricky to get to, but not too bad. Where we can open that up. And then the last one is back over in the Flame Legion area, if I recall correctly, which I think is up this way. And I think there is a way to jump to this place from down here, but I feel like it's just easier if we come over to here and then carefully drop down. Where we got a very large jump. Shouldn't be too bad. There we go. Yeah, definitely not bad at all. But we got Spoils of Chaos, which I think leaves us with a single achievement left to get inside of Scarlet's Playhouse. There's actually 2 left. So let's go ahead and find a couple of recordings that we can find, which we've gotten the books that we can find around here in the last few episodes. But now starting in this episode, we also got some recordings we can listen to. And here's the first one in the bandit area.
What day is it? Never mind that. All the supplies are in hand. Preparations are underway. It took a little convincing to get the Dredge and the Flame Legion on good terms. The Dredge are stubborn. They want to feel valued. They want to feel needed. Vova was picky with her demands. Working with the Char made her nervous. The Flame Legion is known for holding a heavy hand over its people. Tiny pests wiggling beneath sharp claws, waiting for them to drop. I don't blame them all, but I'm glad I didn't have to take more extreme measures to get them in line. After all, we've got much to get done.
Then right up here towards the center of the arena, we got this one.
Trini, have a seat.
I take it your talk with Queen Jenna didn't go as planned.
I've got a special assignment for you. The Captain's Council in Lion's Arch. I want you on it.
Seems reasonable. I'll just submit my bid now.
You know I love a sprinkle of spice, but I'm not joking. I want you on that council. We need an in.
And how do I manage that?
It's just like gardening. We need to remove our winter bulbs to make room for the roses of spring.
You want me to off a council member?
At your discretion, dear. Inspire one of the louts to take a vacation. I hear Maguma is delightful this time of year.
I stopped a fight by shoving someone's head into a keg. I don't think I'm cut out for politics.
You're adaptable, darling. It's just like steering a ship, but more elegant. All we need is one voice in the room. A strong voice to be heard, and yours can move a fleet.
Yeah?
What do you say, Captain Trim of the Aether Blades?
Up for the job.
Aye, aye!
So Scarlet was pretty good at convincing her there, and where we have completed this achievement now, where we have completed the mission. And then we got all of the recordings. We finished without dying. We saved Lord Farron in 3 minutes. We got all the chests. We navigated the Centaur Maze successfully. And we got all the books, which just leaves us with one final achievement. And it's kind of a fun one, where we need to go to the Outer Rim first. But we need to go over towards this Outer Rim specifically, because we have like in the bottom area, which we'll explore more so in the future, where all of the like fighting takes place against like the Watch Knights, where they're disguised as different enemies of Kryta. Above it, we got one-on-one fighting, which is super fun. It's actually one of my favorite things in Guild Wars 2. But that is something we will explore more, where we got like smaller arenas up here, including like this entire like ring to go to all these different smaller arenas, because only one person can be fighting at a single time inside of each arena. But here we can see down in the ogre area, we got a hay bale, where we need to jump from here down into the hay bale, Assassin's Creed style. And we got Softlander, where we did not die. Normally you would die from that, but we got that completed. Where we have Clockwork Chaos Completionist, where we can get Infinite Watch Knight Tonic, and we can just complete like a bunch of different things. But then we got Clockwork Chaos Mastery, where we need to complete 3 more achievements, where we will complete Picking Up the Pieces and Investigative Study. But then we also need to do either the Aether Path, which is something that I'm planning on not doing actually, but might talk about it more next episode actually. And then we got Guarding the Fields, where we can go ahead and complete events around Gandharan Fields. So this should be pretty easy for me to complete in the future, where I'll just go and do some events in Gandharan Fields. Let's go ahead and leave the instance now and go back into Divinity's Reach, where we have the final mission, which should be a pretty short mission for us to complete. But I also got a letter in the mail, it looks like, which might be connected to the Aether Path potentially, but might be a letter from a friend. And the letter is from Lord Farron regarding the circumstances of my imprisonment. My friend, though I am unreservedly in your gratitude and couldn't let your heroic rescue remain unrecognized, I would appreciate your discretion regarding my involvement in this unpleasant affair. I thank you from the bottom of my heart, but please let us never speak of this again. Sounds good, Lord Farron. Right now we need to go ahead and visit Logan inside of his office, where our friends should be over here as well, back towards the center of Divinity's Reach, where it looks like we beat back Scarlet a little bit, but she is still a threat. But fortunately, Queen Jenna and Lord Farron and many others are safe, but many others also lost their lives because of Scarlet's attack on Divinity's Reach, and also on Lion's Arch, and also on the Shiver Peaks and Ascalon.
Ever since the planning phases of this event, I've been kept out of every important decision involving the Queen. I know that's not a coincidence. Nothing you do ever is.
I assure you, Captain, everything I've done has been for the good of Kryta and the throne. Scarlet was a threat I couldn't fully identify, so I prepared for the worst. And my preparations proved very effective. The only problem here is that you take things too personally when Jenna's involved.
I will never apologize for my dedication to the Queen. I will serve and protect her faithfully until she commands me not to. Keep that in mind the next time you feel like trying to keep us apart.
I see we have a friend over there listening in. We also got Logan we can chat with. Let's chat with Marjorie. Where she says, Commander, friendly face. And it looks like the Scarlet person, the Savari, is definitely behind this whole mess, where we can pick up an academic record from the Arcane Council. And our toxic little flower used to go by Ciara, or Kiara. I always forget. Don't know when that changed or why. At least not yet. Where she was definitely fabled at the colleges. And then we also got 3 letters here. Let's read these first. Records from the Arcane Council. Name, Ciara. Student status, former sponsor cultural exchange program. College of Dynamic status, incomplete. Notes, evidence of cheating found during final examinations. See file on PEXA. Ciara refused proper academic trial, transferred to College of Statics in 1315 after Exodus under academic probation. College of Statics status, honorary degree awarded 1316 after Exodus. Did not attend required course days or complete lab residency, but did pass all final examinations with high scores. And then College of Synergetics status, complete, degree awarded 1317 after Exodus. Ciara completed her basic degree in Synergetics after defending her thesis before the Arcane Council, winner of the OMAD Award, earning her a 5-year tenure as Headmaster OMAD's lead lab assistant. So it looks like the Savari went to Radisum as part of cultural exchange and did incredibly well, where she basically completed like all 3 colleges, 2 different degrees, and then won a 5-year tenure as the assistant to an individual named OMAD, which is interesting. Detectives scribble notes. Caught up with Keo at the bar after they took my train back to Fort Mariner. That woman can hold down her ale. Our nefarious little pirate named a possible ringleader before her arrest. Scarlet might be the hand behind the cleaver. Did a little digging in Divinity's Reach, but didn't come up with much. Only 2 Scarlets in the city register, and they're 3 and 87 years old. And doubt we've got our suspect. Keo's had even less luck getting any meaty intel from Trin. I've asked a couple of contacts to keep an ear open outside of Kryta between the incident in Lion's Arch and the unprovoked attacks to the north. This case smells like a steaming pile of Daliak dung. And then mysterious letter addressed to Anise. My queen, I received this letter 2 nights ago. I'm issuing an additional Shining Blade detail to your personal quarters until I can identify the sender. Lady Ciora has also requested additional security for her engineers, which I've accepted. I've never heard of this Captain Briar, but if they know of the Watch Knights, we might have a breach on our hands. I would urge you to leave Logan out of this for now. I'll gather what I can. Lady Anise. Dear, what was your name again? Alice, let me grab my notes. Let's start over. Dearest Anise, It is with the utmost urgency that I'm writing you today. The weather is dreadful and the birds refuse to sing. I also caught wind that Her Majesty is working with royal engineers on something particularly exciting. The Watch Knights. Oh, don't throw yourself into a tizzy about how I know of their existence, are a marvel to behold. I wanted to ask politely before taking more extreme actions, but I want to play my cards in that game. Our status might not be aligned, but our purpose is. I'm just ready to get my hands dirty. Respond with haste. I'm not especially keen on waiting. With love, Captain Briar. And then I think that is everything from Investigative Study 3, which just leaves us with finishing up this mission where we can talk to Logan, where he says thanks for your help today, and hopefully Scarlet will not do any more damage. And it looks like Logan is continuing to work with Marjorie, and we can accept this. And we have successfully completed Clockwork Chaos, which means there's only 2 more missions in Living World Season 1 left for us to complete. The Tower of Nightmares is next, where we got another 20 slot bag, which maybe I should buy some more bag slots. Let's go ahead and pull this 18 slot bag out, or swap it for that, where we now have 212 slots, where these are 28 slot bags now. So I should maybe buy like 2 more bag slots just for fun, where I don't really have any gems on this account, I suppose. But we got 2 additional letters, an assault on the Aetherblade Stronghold, and where way back when, during the original launch of Guild Wars 2, Twilight Arbor of course had 3 dungeon paths, just like every other dungeon except for Raw, which had 4 explorable paths, where one of them was like really challenging and nobody liked them at all. So they actually replaced that path during Living World Season 1 with a brand new one, which is the Aetherblade path, or Aether path if you will, which is actually my favorite dungeon path in the entire game. But it is definitely decently challenging, and pretty much nobody ever does it, so I don't really have high hopes for us to do that, which I've talked a little bit about. But it is a really fun piece of content that if you have like a group of friends who want to do it, I highly recommend you go through there if you enjoy like some decently challenging instance content, though it is definitely pretty easy since it is all the way back from Living World Season 1. But until next time, well, you've certainly earned my attention, Athelstan. What do they call you? The Commander, was it? What a prestigious title. I've decided to make a special side project out of you, my dear. We're going to be seeing much more of each other, so you might as well cozy up and listen. I warned you not to get in my way, but here we are. Next time, I won't be quite so gentle. I simply can't wait to take you apart and see what makes you tick. Tick, tock, tick. Scarlet, I don't need to hide behind silly code names like B anymore, do I? This is quite exciting. Where we got a gift from Scarlet. How thoughtful. What could it be? Where we can take this and then we can open it up. And then we can hear her maniacal laughing as the gift explodes and downs us. So let's go ahead and get ourselves up off the ground. And then we can go ahead and just finish this episode here, where we are definitely like going through Living World Season 1 pretty quickly, but I'm highlighting everything that I want to highlight in this season. Where next episode I got a little bit of a fun and interesting thing to go over, where we're going to talk about a lot of stuff and talk a fair bit about the future of this series as well, kind of just some reminders about what I've talked about here and there throughout the last mini episodes of my series. And then we will be approaching more of the story of Living World Season 1, where I hope you all enjoyed watching this episode, and I hope you all are taking great care of yourselves. Remember to drink some water and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time in the Road to Tyria. Goodbye.